Hey everybody, we had this NFT competition and we finally have come to a close to season 1, Bobby's Masterpiece.
Woo! The winning art that you guys selected in episode 3 was an actual oil painting.
Oh.
And now it's time to reveal this amazing
Giovanni,
piece by Giovanni, who's an amazing artist.
But we also cannot...
Look at this.
Beautiful. It's like the Mona Lisa. We have to acknowledge the person that took the photo initially, Liz Vigiano, who I'm friends with.
Yeah.
She's super talented. She does all the comics in LA. She's the best photographer. We want to do a shout out for her.
So you can see more of her work on Instagram, which we've linked in the description. How happy are you?
I love that thing.
We're going to hang
Where
it
are
up,
we
man.
hanging this?
We got to find a good spot.
This is incredible.
Anyway, thank you. Congratulations, bud.
Also, this Black Friday, we have some top secret NFT drops. So go to legacy.shop.
For all the secret drops.
Before we start, I want to get something off my chest.
I understand that. So wait, but can we tell Judd? So,
The rule.
Judd.
Yes.
Don't say anything until I bring your name up.
The power thing.
She wants to do a strong opening. I don't know what the it
It's
is.
not an opening. I said, can I
Is
say
everything
something
on?
before we
we're good.
start?
Yeah. So
I need to get something off my chest.
So let me.
before we start.
Can I introduce your strong opening or? Kaleido strong opening.
This is their relationship.
Come on. Kaleido strong opening.
Judd, this is completely unrelated to you, so
Yes.
please don't take offense to this. I had to borrow a backpack from you earlier,
I don't know why you're saying this in front of him.
and
I'm so sorry, buddy.
So I took the backpack out, and I took things out from the backpack that you used. And why were there 6 penis contraptions? Why 6? Also, just want to remind you that
Yeah.
I, your girlfriend, am also a penis contraption. In case you ever want to use me. So
Okay.
that's all. Judd. Sorry, we can start.
Kalaila's opening. That was great.
That was
What a
crazy.
great, uncomfortable opening. First of all, okay, while you were out of town, my brother wanted to buy me a birthday gift, and he goes, "Hey, Bob, there's these new, futuristic,
Contraption.
vaginal contraptions. Let me buy you one." And he bought me 3 of them.
Oh, that's a upgrade from.
Anyway, let's start the
Pringles
podcast.
can.
This is fucking crazy, that opening.
You have never cuddled with me in 8 years.
Are you out of your fucking mind? I have so many times.
You have never.
I wonder what the point of fucking cuddling is. Waste of fucking time.
I'm gonna make you cuddle me, bitch.
Jesus.
Ow, fuck! That fucking hurt.
You should have tapped sooner.
I know, but I didn't know you were gonna go that hard.
I'm so sorry. Sweetie, you gotta be real life ready. You gotta be ready for combat. I have a bone to pick with you.
That's my girlfriend. I have a bone to pick with you. Right? And then he blows me. What is it? Go ahead.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome to another episode of Tiger Belly. You guys, we have a bunch of people in the room, but we have a very special guest. I'll introduce this guy. What's that? Say your name for the record. George. Okay. We got Gilbert.
What up?
Hey. My girlfriend, Kalaila. What?
There it is.
I'm here.
All right.
Yeah.
There it is.
Why, because you discovered the pocket vaginas?
No, not just one.
Oh,
six.
okay. Anyway.
6. Oh, 6?
six.
These are 3 in your story.
Anyway, so I want to introduce somebody that I'll just be honest with you. I there are people in the world, right, in the world that I live in, that at times I feel a little intimidated by. I look up to them. This guy is one of them. I'm going to give you a long intro. So I felt like I couldn't get an acting job, right? Remember?
It was,
I was like, should I suck dick? I don't, right?
yeah, you should have.
Wait, that was an option?
I guess so. Yeah. And so that's funny. So then, Judd and Paul hired me for Love, and it kind of snowballed, and I'm still in that snowball. Like, I've just been working nonstop since then. So I want to thank you for that. You put me in Pineapple Express. Yo, thank you for that. He directed.
Were you in that?
It was impactful. It was brief but impactful.
Thank you, dude. And that's what I needed from you, dude. It was brief and impactful.
Said variety.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. He directed 40-Year-Old Virgin. He also directed Knocked Up. He directed This Is 40, a bunch of just funny people, a bunch of movies. But he also was, a showrunner and executive producer, Girls, Crashing, the thing I did, Love on Netflix. Just a bunch of shit. I know more credits, but that's what I'm going to give you today.
Should I do the rest of it?
No. It's a long fucking. You have a long.
It's a lot.
Oh, here's another thing that I saw that I loved that I was onto it too late, which is the Zen Diaries. Mm-hmm. Bro, I did not want to even do stand-up anymore until I saw that. So thank you. Give Judd Apatow a round of applause. Judd Apatow, everybody. Give him a round of applause, I said. Woo!
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much,
I'm very happy to be here. I weirdly, in the pandemic, missed you. Like, I had a feeling that I missed you because I was, watching podcasts, and we have a lot of time, and you gravitate towards things that bring you comfort during the stress.
Yeah.
And I kept coming back to you, and it surprised me. It really surprised me. I'm like, why does Bobby make me feel like the world's okay? I'm not sure why.
Well,
I reached out to you.
Yeah, you did, and that's what.
I can explain that
Okay, go ahead, tell me.
phenomenon. It's the same reason why I watch garbage reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
No, she may be right. She may be right.
Something.
Yeah, it's something where I can switch my brain off and just watch a train wreck.
Okay.
I think there might be a parallel there.
Yeah. Huh. But that still is. I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I think.
Well, because during the pandemic, the thing I noticed was who I wanted to check in on and who didn't check in on me, right? Because we all could have died.
Yeah.
I guess still. And you realize, like, wow, that person who I thought I was close with in 2 years has not checked in at all. Like, that person hates me.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you realize, well, I guess who have I not checked in on? Right? And you were high on my list.
Can I like to argue that for a second, if I may. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I didn't check up on you is I love you, and I think you're a great guy and super talented. But I also have a thing was I don't want to be intrusive.
Yes.
Right?
So all those people who did check in on me are trying not to be intrusive. I think they all hate me and hope I die.
Yeah.
So
No.
that's helpful to know.
Bro, I'm going to tell you something right now, dude. If you died,
Mm-hmm.
right, it would be earth-shattering for me. So I'm glad you're not dead.
Well, I thought you were going to say earth-shattering for the whole community. Like you said it like just me. I don't know how everyone else would feel.
Well, I don't want to speak for other people.
Yes.
But I think it's just for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
it would be shattering, right?
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold it together.
So so let me ask you this. During the pandemic, obviously, I probably think I know the answer, but what did you do during that?
Well, right when it was starting,
Yeah.
I bumped into Dr. Oz.
Oh,
This is
no.
so weird, right? So
Oh.
maybe like February 25th or something,
Is
right
it a
around
homie,
there.
or was it a random thing?
Just on a studio lot,
Oh, wow.
like the Sony lot.
Oz.
Yeah, I know who Dr. Oz
I
is.
know, but he's borderline quacky.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah, I'm sure he's a decent human being with
I'm sure he
ethics
is,
and
yeah.
My story is based on him being the best doctor in the history of the world.
Well, that contradicts, Kalila. That contradicts.
I take it back.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Quacky business.
All right, so he's the greatest doctor
So
ever
I
lived.
went through the best doctor in the history of the world. And I'm like, what do you think of this COVID thing?
Yeah.
And he's like, Judd, it's so contagious. And they're going to try to slow it down and stop it. but 1 million people are going to die, and we'll all know one of them.
Oh wow.
So correct.
That's
And it was all correct.
Yeah.
Thus, the greatest
doctor.
doctor.
Genius.
Wow.
I take it all back.
Would that scare the shit out of you?
It did, because I was about to go to South by Southwest to show The King of Staten Island. And we were all like, can we go? I think we can go. I think,
Yeah.
right? We can go. And it was like my wife's birthday, and we had a trip, and we were going to go to some spa for her birthday. And this was like the first week of March. And we were like, you can still go to New Mexico, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's there yet. And we did. We went away for like 4 or 5 days.
Oh,
And
wow.
on the TV every night, it was getting worse and worse till it was really bad. And we're like in our bathrobes at a spa getting massages. And we're like, I don't think we're supposed to let people touch us.
Wow.
Like, people are really rubbing on us right now.
Yeah.
And then we got home and, went in the house and locked the door for a year and a half.
Right. Had Tom Hanks gotten it by then?
It was the week, I think. that
Yeah.
all-
Because that's
Yeah.
when it became real for me.
Yeah.
I go, Tom Hanks got it.
yeah.
Holy fuck. We're fucked. You know what I mean? Like, Tom Hanks is America's dad.
And
you
he's
know what I mean?
careful.
Yeah, seems like a mindful guy.
He's a careful person.
Yeah.
And then we went in the house. And then in the beginning of the house, what I realized was that my family wasn't that concerned about my health. Like, they were a little looser than I was. And I'm like, I'm the oldest one. I'm the one who dies. I'm the one who dies.
Yeah.
And they, were a little looser with some of the rules. I'm like rubbing on these fucking Amazon packages with my Purell. And
How I was.
aren't you mad that we did that for no reason? Like, at some point we realized it's not on the packages, but after like
Stupid.
8 months of package rubbing.
Yeah.
I had the amount of burns, the chemical burns on my hands. I bought the UV lights.
Yeah.
Every inch of it.
Yeah.
I would do it on his body when he would come back from
Yeah.
7-Eleven.
We went to like a craft store right at the beginning, right? So like we were aware, like, I think we're going to be in the house for like months and months and months.
Yeah.
So I go with, my 2 daughters, and we go, let's go to like, what's that craft store with
Joanne.
Michael's or Joe?
Michael's? Yeah, so we're like, let's go to Michael's. I think we need crafts. Like, we're gonna do a lot of crafts for the next few months. Let's go buy like feathers and glue and stuff. So we're in there, and this store is enormous, and there's like 16 people in it. But to us, each one of them 100% had it.
COVID. Oh.
And
Oh, wow.
we were just walking through, like we were in space, like
Yeah.
that's so scared of the cashier.
Yeah.
And then we went in the house, and then I had to promote the movie on my couch.
Oh my God.
For like 2 months, interviews all day.
And those are
on
the
the
worst.
couch.
Those are the worst kinds. Like, I'd rather be in. Wouldn't you rather be in person?
Yeah, but there were some moments where you're like, it's nice to sit here.
Yeah,
I mean, when
yeah,
you're doing like like crazy amounts of interviews, like around the world, and
Oh, yeah.
like, oh, it's nice that
Because they have that day where you get that list of like times. That's the worst day of anyone's life because it's like, it goes from like 6 a.m. to like 11, and it's just all these numbers you have to call.
and there's 6 minutes each.
Yeah.
Sometimes they put you on, they just keep sending people in. And people don't understand that people like, say, Will Smith, like twice a year, 3 times a year, he has to sit in rooms for like a month and talk to someone every 6 minutes all day long.
my God.
And the fact that it hasn't broken their spirit.
yeah. That's why I hate when you see like they give like they make gifts out of what's that dude? Not Matt Damon, the other one.
Ben Affleck?
Dan
Affleck.
Affleck. Is that his name?
Of his reactions. Yeah.
No, but you see, like sometimes in his interviews, they give moments of him either falling asleep.
Or he's lost hope. He's lost
that one.
Yeah, I like that.
He's
Yeah,
having an existential meltdown. And you probably could do that, honestly, to any person.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
If you had the raw footage
Of all of
of Don Cheadle doing a press junket, there'd be a moment where he'd be like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Why am I alive?
There's something. When I see photos of Ben Affleck, there's one photo of him outside his house or something. He's leaning against a wall and he has a cigarette and he's kind of slouched.
Yeah.
That photo. I wish I had that photo earlier on in my career because in my head, I'm like, once I get all those things, right, everything's solved.
This one.
Yeah, that one.
You want that in your
No. And if I was a young man and I saw that, I'd be like, you know what, dude, enjoy today.
But you know what? Isn't it, the essence of life? Like that's like, that photo is like the Mona Lisa.
Right, I think so too.
Because people don't understand, everyone's life is stressful, and you think, oh, he's running around the world and he's with J-Lo and he's Batman for a period, but really that's how he feels, which is how we feel.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's all.
And he had to walk, like, imagine that walk. He's just grabbing the cigarette and just, I guess I have to smoke outside. You know what I mean?
I just need a minute. And then he can't even be left alone. Like,
Yeah,
people are photographing his one
He
moment.
knows they're taking photos. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Take the photo, fuck it. You know what I mean? And it was, take that off, man. He's too good looking to look at. So did you do a lot of writing in the pandemic?
Well, what happened was I had to promote the movie. And they put the movie where you could like buy it online. It was supposed to be in the theater.
Yeah.
And we were like, should we just, put it online now? And it felt like there's kind of nothing to watch. And everyone's so depressed. And we have a funny, hopefully sweet movie. It would be weird to not give it to people now. It seems like it's for now. So it felt nice to have something to offer up people, even if it was just 2 hours of a break. And then I really felt like I'm either going to gain like 40 pounds and be drunk for the next year.
Yeah.
Or I have to get healthy. Like, it's not going to be in the middle.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not, like, I normally live in the middle.
Yeah.
But where
You're
I'm
great in the
kinda
middle.
little shitty. Like, I'm kind of in shape and out of shape. Like, I work out a little. I eat shitty half the time. That's
Can I
where
make
live.
I have an observation about you?
Yes, please.
Did you gain a little or lose weight? I can't tell.
Well, I'll tell you because
Okay.
it says everything about. Excuse me. I've been sick 3 times in the last month with non-COVID diseases. So
Other
Are
diseases.
you really?
Other diseases.
yeah, I've had every other disease but COVID
Wow.
in the last 6 weeks.
So flu you had?
Yeah, so I'll have a haunting cough, but it's like from a different thing.
Yeah.
So I lost 15 pounds because I was walking every day,
Wow.
like an hour and a half to 2 hours, to not go crazy. So I would just get up at 7 a.m. and just walk for 2 hours on the beach. Wow. And then, I thought of a movie. At some point, I was like, I should think of something. I'm literally walking for 2 hours, and I'm with my friend. I'm like, I'm gonna try to think of things. Because we would just talk bullshit. I'm like, could we outline something in this time? So I had this idea, like maybe you could make a movie about like actors like who are in the bubble trying to make a movie.
Yeah.
Like you kept hearing about the Jurassic Park bubble. And they're
Yeah,
in England and they keep getting sick and they keep shutting down. They're trying to finish like a sequel to a dinosaur movie. And like it must be weird in that bubble. So I started just outlining on the walk just as a goof. And then one day my wife said to me, the TV show I'm supposed to do, they're sending me to England to shoot it in January for 4 months.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, maybe I could do this dumb bubble movie.
In that 4 months.
In that 4 months, maybe I'll like write it and go with her and try to make it.
Wow.
And so we set it up at Netflix and we made it last January through April during the pandemic. And that's when I gained back all the weight.
Oh, wow.
So I lost like 15 pounds and now I started at 206. Now I'm at 203. That says everything about the last 2 years.
Yeah. Is that movie out now?
April 1st. it comes
Okay.
out. And it's like David Duchovny and Keegan-Michael Key and Fred Armisen's in it and Kate McKinnon and
All my favorite people.
it was like trying to work to not lose your mind. So
Yeah.
it was like making a movie about losing your mind in a bubble while trying not to lose your mind. So you're making a movie to stay sane about losing your mind. It was a very like meta.
Yeah.
We must do something. We can't sit in the house anymore.
Like I did Zoe Lister-Jones's movie, one scene, but still it was just like really cool to do it.
Oh,
like just
that
to-
was in the thick of the
that was the
pandemic.
thick of the
It might have
pandemic.
been like April or something.
Yeah, they came over. It was like they were 20, 30 feet away,
Yeah.
and it was a whole thing. I have a question to ask you. When you're directing a movie, do you know it's good? Like, I know that you wrote the script or whatever, but when you're shooting it, do you know it's good, or are there questions of like, I don't know if this is going to work in editing, or do you know?
I think each time is different.
Yeah.
This time it was very improvised because we wrote it in a month,
Yeah.
me and Pam Brady. And I thought, well, I'll just get people who could really do this on their feet. And so we just shot so much stuff. It was like half a Christopher Guest movie, half Tropic Thunder.
Oh.
So we're shooting.
Are there interview sections?
Well, there is like a documentary aspect in a part of it, but it's like when they're shooting the dinosaur movie, it looks exactly like Jurassic Park. Like it's shot with the same people who do Jurassic Park.
Oh, wow.
Industrial Light and Magic. And
That's amazing.
And then it suddenly falls apart in the middle of the take. And you see the green screens and they all start fighting. And so I had to learn how to do special effects because I've never had any special effects
Yeah.
in anything.
That favorite documentary of yours with Marlon Brando,
Oh, a Lost. Oh yeah, it was.
Lost in La Mancha.
No, that was that was the.
Hearts of Darkness.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
about
it
the
was.
making of Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That also no, but the making of Island of Dr. Moreau is also.
That I haven't seen, but that
It's
looks
crazy.
incredible. I didn't even know that was out.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy. Like the director gets fired and he lives on the island to spy on his own movie.
Wait, for real?
That literally happened.
Yeah.
Then Brando shows up and he goes, he goes, I want to shut down production.
He had a
and I
weird
want, I want to
request, right?
rewrite the movie. And he goes to like an executive at New Line and he
Yeah.
goes, in the movie I want to wear a dolphin mask throughout the movie. And he's like, yeah? He's like, and then, I take it off and I'm still a dolphin. And they were like, we can't shut down, we can't write that. You know what I mean? Like, it must have been crazy to direct that kind of ego.
Yeah, that's kind of what our movie is about, is people turning into that.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking their movie way too seriously.
Yeah.
Having an existential meltdown during a movie shoot. But that's the funny thing about the pandemic is, we all get this huge break and we're like, you notice in the quiet how crazy you've been.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You get some space to go, wow, that period I was really out of my mind. And it's weird because you can observe yourself for the first time.
I found myself happier than I've ever been at times in the pandemic.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's like, we were around each other a lot, and also
We were eating at home together.
we never did that.
Did you get along better, spending way more time together, or worse?
We kind of did, although, full transparency, I think we got a little bit desensitized. So like we were around each other a lot, so I didn't have time to miss you, and then the sex sort of just plummeted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some
I
serious.
wasn't asking about this.
Let's talk more about that.
I was talking about feelings and emotions.
Since you brought it up,
And suddenly he has 6 vagina pockets.
yeah, I want to apologize. Brooklyn for your body.
Yeah. Sweetie, there's no such thing as too much comfort.
I
right?
know.
And if you could use a little more, wouldn't you say you're in luck?
Yeah.
Well, Brooklinen's biggest sale of the year is here, which means serious savings on
What?
essentials for creating your dream space.
Oh my God, if Brooklyn is having a sale, I'm going to spend every dime on whatever they're selling because I love this company so much. It's the most comfortable, cozy essentials that you need in your house right now.
Brooklinen's entire site of super soft, seriously cozy essentials is on sale right now. Brooklinen was created to bring dreamy comfort to every corner of your space at prices so affordable, they make you pinch yourself. Pinch yourself, Bobby.
Ow. Shopping doesn't get any easier than Brooklyn bundles. Save more when you stock up on essentials for your space.
Now's the time to get gifting with deals on items for everyone on your list. Honestly, that is true. Every year, my mom and dad, what do you want? Good sheets.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Don't miss out. Brooklyn's biggest sale of the year is here. Listening after the sale, you can still save. Visit brooklinen.com and use the promo code TIGER for $20 off with a minimum purchase of $100. That's BROOKLINEN.com, promo code TIGER.
Roman for your penis.
Roman
For your penis. You guys, as I get older, I have erectile dysfunction.
I can attest.
Don't have to say it like that,
So
but
aggressive.
ED. I have erectile dysfunction, and what I've been doing, right? What also I've been doing is I've been going to Roman, and I've been getting help. Yeah,
There's
from
no
Roman.
shame in that. ED is more common than most people think.
Yeah.
In fact, 52% of men between the ages of 40 and 70 will experience some form of ED.
Roman, ready is confidence personified. It is self-assurance that comes from knowing you're prepared yourself for the moment when intimacy arrives.
Roman system is completely confidential and totally discreet. No big logos or labels on packages. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your home.
Getting started is simple. Just go to getroman.com/belly and complete an online visit.
Go to getroman.com/belly now to speak to a U.S. licensed healthcare professional about erectile dysfunction and get $15 off your first month of treatment.
Go to GetRoman.com/belly today, and if you're prescribed, get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. That's GetRoman.com/belly for $15 off your first month of ED treatment if prescribed. Make sure you're ready to have confidence and control this fall. Roman ready.
Yeah, I want to apologize for that.
It was
I
a
think,
full plummet.
I think I detached, you know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And I was scared.
We got really good at watching things together
Yeah.
for long stretches of time and then eating together and doing the whole.
Like, Judd, we didn't leave literally the building
I was super paranoid.
for a year. Like, I never
You would-
left.
You would walk down the street or no?
No.
No, we wouldn't even do
We
that.
wouldn't even do that. I stayed in here for 12 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really
Just
did.
Yeah.
only seeing her and the dogs and cats.
So there's no party that's like, I can walk down the street.
I don't know because you're right. I think because
I was a little nuts.
she also was she's immune compromised. Is that the right word? But she has comorbidities.
Comorbid.
I have a heart condition.
Core mobilities.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Judd. She has a heart condition, and I was afraid that if she got COVID, that it would do serious implications.
And I was not afraid for myself. You're a smoker.
I read a French article saying that smoking helps it.
I read that too.
Thank you, Judd. Thank you, Judd.
You know, if you have the mouthwash and you smoke,
Yes, the mouthwash.
like if there's always smoke in your mouth 24 hours a day, I don't think you can get it.
Yeah, thank you.
Also-
we read the same article.
Yeah, black tar heroin. Try that.
All right.
But I understand that where you would just kick it up another notch.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I am not going to slip at all.
Yeah.
I kind of went the other way a little bit, which is like, we can go to Nobu, right?
yeah. Was Nobu open?
Yeah.
Nobu has seating outside.
They do?
And it's really windy, and it's like you're above the water. And at some point, I was like, I feel like they're wearing a lot of equipment. I think this is okay. But you find out like how much you're willing to risk for
Right.
your sanity.
Losing my mind so much, I would study like air drafts and studies of like how, like that Japanese study where this is what really threw me into full paranoia. They were like in one restaurant and the draft was going this way and 20 people who were 6 feet apart all got it. And I was like, all right, it's over. We're all dying. You're never allowed out.
Or those like weird videos where they show someone sneeze and like how far it goes. It's all like black light and stuff. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Imagine if I was an X-Men and that was my power. That'd be a cool power.
Yeah.
I would never fucking get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Imagine if you go to a mall and you're like, no, I'm not going to go to the fucking Foot Locker.
And
You also find out how
Look
much
at
you
them.
want to be alive.
yeah.
Like you really get a sense of like, do I really want to be alive?
Yeah, you're right.
like
I want to live. Don't you
Yeah.
want to live?
I'm trying to think like how much I wanted to live. I mean, because at some point I was like, oh, it's a good life. I won a Critics' Choice Award once. I could die now.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
things
when you look at your life, do you kind of go, I did it?
Yeah, I have a little bit of that because like the idea of like I did it was like get on Evening at the Improv.
I know.
Like that was the only dream.
Right.
Like when you really go, what was the dream? It was very like get on the HBO Young Comedian special. And so, everything like beyond that was not the dream as a kid.
Right.
It was just like to be, Jeff Altman or Seinfeld or something.
Right.
And so those were the dreams. Everything else was just like a weird other thing.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to do a stand-up special before all my hair fell out and turned completely gray. And it was like, I just want to do an hour where I kind of look okay. So I got a Netflix special. I was like, okay, the hair looks pretty good. And they lit the stage. It looks a little darker than it really is.
Yeah.
And you don't see the bald spot. I didn't use any of those shots behind me where you would see it. So yeah, there's some of
But
that.
what I mean, I have always respected you, but there was one thing that I saw, and I think I brought this up to you once. I was at the Addison Improv. Do you remember me bringing this up? I was at the Addison Improv, and I was. If you go to the Addison Improv, the office is the green room as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
So you're just sitting there with like just computers and file cabinets and stuff. And one day I was just between shows so bored I was opening up these cabinets.
Yeah.
And they had these dates and old lineups.
Yeah.
And in 1990, I don't know if that.
I know the lineup.
What is
Jeff
it?
Garland.
Yes.
Me and Diane Ford.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a fun week. I remember that.
You really do
It was a
remember
fun
that week?
And I remember that we did one show with Garland, and I'm trying to think who the headliner was. I think it was Rick Reynolds. Do you ever remember?
No,
Rick
no,
Reynolds?
no.
Rick Reynolds was very like caustic, kind of funny but nasty comedian, and there was like a show where like Jeff Garland wasn't feeling well, or maybe he like had like a thing where he felt like chest pain or something, and like didn't finish his set or something. But it was like a serious thing where like he wasn't feeling well. And then I just remember Rick Reynolds just shitting on him on stage. Just really ripping on Jeff hard, like
Yeah.
That guy before me couldn't even get through it. And then Jeff was so mad that the guy would give him a hard time when he wasn't
Yeah.
feeling well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great club, Addison Improv. Is it still there?
Yeah, it is still there. But what I loved about seeing that is that it just shows like your history of like, because obviously you're a great stand-up as well, and to see you do stand-up, because you've come around the last 3 or 4 years. That's how we were able to rekindle, because we see each other at the clubs. It's just like you're just not only are you a good director and showrunner and all that stuff, but you're like a genuine stand-up. That's the point I wanted to make, because it's like you put in the work.
Yeah.
You're not a guy that just came out of nowhere and was a director and decided to do stand-up. Like, you're the real deal. You know what I mean? Because
I love those weeks at those improvs. I remember I went and auditioned for Groundlings. I wanted to take Groundlings classes. I was like going to sign up to take Groundlings when I was in like the late 80s, and maybe I was like 20 years old. And then I got into the improv, and then they said, you go on the road. And I was like, well, I can't take classes every week if I'm on the road. And I had to make this choice to take all the road gigs.
yeah.
Or learn how to do improv
Yeah.
at Groundlings. And instead I went to the Addison Improv. And then the week after that, I went to Dallas and opened up for Dennis Miller.
Wow.
Back in whatever that was, 1990 or
Wow.
89 or something. And Dennis Miller was on fire. I mean, that was like the black and white special he did.
Yeah.
And he just ripped the roof off the place.
Wow. All that shit, that history, dude, I fucking love it.
It's a whole different generation of comics. Like that late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I'm familiar with some of them. You know what I mean? Like, when I moved into town, I mean, obviously we had the guys like Carl LeBeau. I don't know if he's from that time.
Yeah.
You like
Yeah,
Carl?
absolutely,
Yeah. And I'm just fascinated. That's what, like, when I see Marsha Warfield or somebody at the Comedy Store, I always go up and say hi.
Yeah.
And go, welcome back.
But really, what happened at Pineapple Express?
We'd actually love to
Seems
know.
like a running discussion of your trailer. Or I feel like you were disrespected in some way. I don't take responsibility for any of it, by the way.
We should run it
I
back.
have people who are supposed to manage you correctly. But what happened?
What happened? Episode 1, I think, was dedicated to your the pain you felt.
Of what, Pineapple Express?
I think so. I think we dedicated a whole episode.
What pain?
You shared pain and anger towards that.
Oh, okay.
They didn't have a trailer for you. That's what I heard you say.
All right.
They didn't have
Okay.
But let me just say one thing. When I heard you say that, first of all, I want to be honest about it, because I don't want you to feel bad about it. But I am a super people pleaser. There's nothing I want more than every actor or crew person to feel very respected. So the idea that you showed up and they didn't have a trailer for you.
No, you have it wrong. Everyone in the room has it wrong.
Okay,
all right?
here we go.
That's your side.
So I was a crybaby.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just apologize. I'm a little bitch baby. Okay.
Bitch, baby, Bobby.
So you guys had trailers for me
Yeah.
every time I was there, except for one day.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was the day when you guys had a lot of people just shooting that day. You had, I don't know, 30 or 40 fucking people that are on the cast list. You know what I mean? And
The big fight scene.
yeah, it's chaos, right? Production is chaos, right? And you guys said to me, for one day, can you just stay here with these people?
Yeah.
Which happens to be the extras. It's fine.
Say that one more time. More believable.
That's never okay.
Yeah,
That's
no,
never okay.
it was with the background,
Background actor.
the right background, in which I made very good relationships.
Still talking
Very
to this day.
never don't know what they look like.
Okay.
But my point
So
is,
our numbers were wrong. We didn't realize how many people were there, and we didn't have the room for you. And of every person there,
Yeah.
we thought you were the one who would take the hit. We could have done it to Ken Jeong. We could have done it.
But you did it.
We could have done it to Craig
Oh, okay,
Robinson or
yeah.
Kevin Corrigan or Gary Cole. There were so many people there, but for some reason they went down that sheet and they said, "Let's let Bobby sit with the extras."
oh god.
Atmosphere, by the way.
All right, so you're right, but I made a mistake,
Yeah.
and I made a call to my agent at the time.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, not from you,
Mm-hmm.
but from somebody else that was involved in production, that he raised his voice and he was angry.
At us.
Not you
No,
specifically.
but he called us angry.
Yes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I go, why did you do that? You just made a big deal out of nothing. In fact, I left that agency after that. Not right after that, but like 6 months after that. My point being is that we made a complaint. And secondly, here's another thing that I did that I never said out loud.
Reveal it.
And I'm going to reveal it to you. And I want
You
to
left the turd in the toilet. In the trailer.
Smeared it all over.
No, in fact, to poo in those trailers is difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
They get stuck on the sides.
Yeah.
So you got to take a bottle of water and do your own fucking
You're
thing.
just like me. I just want to say this is why I like you. Because
Yeah.
like the description of like cleaning the poo remnant off the side of the trailer toilet, like most people, Mel Gibson's not cleaning off the side. He's just like someone will get that later.
Right.
Me and you are like, let me get that.
I can't.
And there's no one. We'll never meet the person that cleans it or through
Yeah.
the whole production, but we will do that.
Yeah, we will. What?
You are lying to Judd through your teeth.
He wouldn't clean it.
He would never. He would call me to come over and clean it. That's a fact.
There we go.
He is not his. He is not. He doesn't.
This is 2007, Bobby Lee.
Okay, thank you. Judd.
Who cared more?
And
about
I just
that?
want to say something to you, my
Yeah.
friend, my girlfriend. I mean, all right, is that when I do that, right? It's not because for me and I care about my environment. I care about whoever has to clean it after me and whoever maintains those trailers. So I just didn't want them to see that I
had pooed.
wet.
He's also pooed in the back of our Prius, and I've
car,
had to
yeah.
In the
collect
car.
it
On a
in the
frisbee.
car.
And
On a frisbee. And
On a
then-
paper plate as well, and I've had to collect it.
Okay,
and
he
throw it.
doesn't need to know that information. That's just crazy.
But the key question is, where does it go right after?
I threw it in a dumpster, and this is information that I don't think Mr. Judd Apatow wants to know that I put in my Prius.
But was it because there was nowhere to go?
I have.
Well, during the pandemic, here's a good example.
let's get into this. Yeah.
Nobody, you couldn't just walk into any establishment and say, "Can I use your restroom?" Everyone was like, "Nope, our restrooms."
Thank
are
you.
So we were outside of my dermatology office, and I was like, "For the love of God, please do not poo." He's like, "I have nowhere else to go." So
Wait a second, but you can have like your pimples popped, but he can't poo in a public toilet.
Thank you.
correct. So what I did, I was
Thank
like,
you.
Nice one, Jim.
You know what? That's
Nice
kind of just a little side note
Yeah.
before we even continue. That's why I love this guy, man.
I
He's
noticed
always-
the little details.
Yeah, he knows little details to
detail.
back my
I was
back
actually
me
going to
up.
offer you a compliment because this time around he put down a Trader Joe's bag before he pooed on top of it. Before that, he would just bareback it
Yeah.
and go right into the
Oh,
the,
Jesus.
the car upholstery.
Yeah.
This time around, he did think to put something underneath,
Yeah.
and then he packed it up himself.
And then
he
where'd
didn't
you
have
put
the-
it?
Yeah.
I went to the nearest
A dumpster?
outside dumpster, and sometimes they're locked. Right, I didn't put it on top. I found one that was unlocked.
Courteous.
Thank you so much. And I double bagged it. No one smelled anything. Let's move on from it, okay?
It's funny because with poop, right? You have different phases of life where you feel differently about it. Like there's
Yeah.
periods of your life where like it's shameful and the door locks and
Yeah.
you clean up and you don't want anyone to know what happens. But then there's other moments in your life where like you literally could just lift your leg like a dog and
Yeah.
not care and understand like living in the woods and just like, why do we care? Why are we ashamed? You know?
Yeah.
Give me a fucking
That's
frisbee.
exactly what I wanted to say. I couldn't articulate it as well. In fact, I don't even know if I said articulate right.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did right, but thank you so much for doing that, my friend.
But what did you do at Pineapple Express that you're ashamed of?
Oh God, I thought
This is your
I thought we were gonna
revenge
be
thing.
Now you have to reveal it.
All right, so, and this is so shameful for me, and it's so funny because the AD right, is the same AD that does a show that I'm on called Reservation Dogs on FX.
Yeah.
And I apologized for her about this when I saw her, when I worked with her.
Wow.
So there was a scene where I got shot in the head by Seth Rogen in the movie.
Yep.
Oh, I feel so shameful. And afterwards, they go, just lay your body down here because we need it for, what do you call it? You know the word.
Continuity?
Continuity. That bodies always have to be there, right? But there were some angles where they were shooting wides and stuff where I just knew for a fact.
I'm not in the shot.
I'm not in the shot.
We made you lay there all day.
Right? Is that me? Yeah. So
I like that this is considered a nice thing I did for you.
Impactful.
Yeah.
Impactful.
thank you for that.
Really this helped the career.
Yeah. So there was a time, like an hour or two in, a couple of setups. I just stood up and I go, I'm not laying there anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, well, it'd just be better if you did. And I remember being kind of a bitch about it. And it's just something that I would never do now. Like I would lay there for 3 days.
But how long was it at that point? How long? Like on and off?
I mean, at the end of the day, probably 30 minutes.
Better question is like, you look pretty. It's a relaxing thing to do. Why wouldn't you just lay there a little longer?
Well, that probably the fake blood probably gets all gooey.
Thank you.
There's flies stuck to it.
But not only that, you don't understand that there's a metal plate in my head.
What? Oh.
There was a metal plate in my head because they had to put an explosive on the other side of the metal plate.
You're laying on a metal plate.
Yeah, so when he's shooting me, right, there's an explosive, right? So now I'm laying, not only there's sticky blood, but there's a metal plate into my brain.
So is this the thing you're ashamed of that you got up?
That I didn't sit there forever, and I apologize.
Okay. Well, that's actually
Those
not
are
too
two
bad.
things
But
about
you know how you know we were abusive to you?
And you've said this before, and I disagree. Go ahead.
Is that you got up and we were like, all right. Like we didn't need you. You weren't in the shot.
Right.
Can I tell you something that's like terrible about maybe the early stages of my career?
Go ahead.
There is nothing I would have found funnier than to make you lay in blood all day off camera, telling you you're on camera. Like, I wouldn't do that now, but as a young person.
So you fucking knew?
No, I'm saying I don't think
knew.
that's what happened.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's the kind of thing that would have made me laugh. Like, Bobby doesn't even know he's not on camera.
That is pretty funny.
Like we did Happy Gilmore, with our friend Alan Covert.
Uh-huh.
And we made him play a homeless guy. And so we told him, like, you can play the homeless guy, but you have to start growing a beard now, like 6 months before the movie shot.
Yeah.
But really the whole idea of him playing a homeless guy was just to force our friend to grow a beard. Like, we can make him grow a beard. And then there it is.
There it is.
And then in the next movie, we just thought, oh, he should have a perm. Like,
Fuck with him?
but for no reason, and we were like, let's tell him the character has a perm. I think it was for The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
And then he had to get a perm,
That's so funny.
and we would never tell him, like, this is all just because it's so funny to change your hair.
That's amazing. That's
Look how big that beard is.
That's insane.
That's not like a month or two.
Wedding singer.
yeah. What a funny guy, though.
know.
I love that
Oh
guy.
yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, really funny guy. Let me ask you something. Another question I wanted to ask you since I have you here is reshoots bad?
No, I don't think so. I think that sometimes you put the movie together, and you go, oh man, if we had this scene here and this scene there, this would really work.
Have you had to do that?
I'll tell you the funny thing. When I direct, I've never done a reshoot.
Oh, wow.
All laziness.
Oh, okay.
All laziness. But when I produce, I always make them do reshoots if they need them. But for some reason, and this is like strange, the second we're done shooting, in my head, the world has disappeared. And I don't want it to come back together. It's like a neurotic thing. Like I don't like, it would make me uncomfortable to go, let's get everyone from, funny people together to shoot one scene. It'll really help this section. Like in my head, I'm like, they don't exist anymore.
Oh, wow.
And I just don't want to do it. So I'm always working. I get way too much footage when we shoot.
Yeah.
So that like when we're shooting, I'll think, what would the reshoot be? And I'll shoot it during the shoot. If it's not funny enough, I'll shoot something funnier here. Oh, maybe we need a dramatic moment. Maybe it'll need to be sweeter. And I'll shoot that during the shoot.
But are you thinking of that shit when you're actually shooting?
That's what I'm doing. I'm literally
Wow.
going, if this sucked, what did I do wrong? And I'm fixing it within the same day. So I might shoot multiple variations of the same scene just to cover my ass. But, there was great reshoots in, Anchorman. Adam McKay directed that and wrote it with Will. We tested it, and it just tested so badly.
Oh.
And they rewrote the movie, and they rewrote the A story. Like the main story was a reshoot. It wasn't like a couple of fill-in things. It was like an 8 or 9 day, everything with the bears.
Oh, wow.
And that entire idea was a reshoot. So
Now, when you're talking to like the studio or whatever, are they arguing against it, or you're going, trust me, this is needed?
well, in that case, we tested it. And, Anchorman was a new kind of comedy style. So the audience, they weren't really sure what was happening. And then the story wasn't tracking the way it should. And then Adam had to convince the studio that we could make the whole movie end with like Will Ferrell jumping into a bear den at the zoo. Like, let me tell you how we fix this very expensive movie.
yeah.
It's all about him and we'll get real bears and do it. And they were like, that doesn't sound funny. And Adam and Will had to sit like the executives down and explain why bears are funny. And the history of bears in comedy. And then they were right.
Wow.
And then it did work. So yes, we've done reshoots. So it's not necessarily a big problem.
Okay. Have you been to Hungary?
I have not. I don't know if the Jews are allowed in Hungary.
There's a mandate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the story that I told that you texted me,
Yeah.
were you offended by that?
What was
By the joke that you told?
The river, yeah.
It wasn't that I was offended or not offended. I just felt for you.
Thank you.
Wait, what?
So thank you.
I felt for it. I understood that moment of, being with a bunch of people. You're intimidated. They're famous actors. And so you go, I'm going to be me. I'm going
that's exactly
I'm going to tell like a joke you shouldn't tell just to be like, look, we're bonding and hungry together.
Yeah.
And they look at you, probably looking at each other like, I don't think it looks good for me to laugh at this.
Right.
Yeah.
So that you don't even know if they found it funny, but like it would look bad to laugh.
Right.
And then you feel like, oh no, I'm not one of you. I'm the dirt. When I felt like that, I used to be a writer at The Critic. So this is, in the early 90s, and everyone on the staff went to Harvard. They were all, writers from The Simpsons and things like that. And I was just young and like kind of filthy and stupid. And I would make really terrible, dirty jokes. And they would go, oh, Judd, you've outwitted us again. And I felt like the idiot in the room.
Yeah.
And so I just felt bad that you felt bad.
Well, sometimes the window.
The river and the baby shoes story.
And the window of opportunity it was 2 seconds long. Because sometimes it's too late to say it.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like, let's say this is if I'm going to do it, I'm doing a streamer.
Okay.
Right? He goes, oh, baby shoes. And it could have been a midget. Right? I got
Yeah.
it right in the time. Because after that, you couldn't have told it. But this was wrong. I should have edited that out.
Yeah.
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 Because when I said it, they all turned their backs to me. And but I giggled inside, deep down.
No, you didn't. You called me crying.
I know, I did. I understand. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check out betterhelp.com/belly for 10% off your first month. You guys, over the last 3 or 4 years, Kalila and I, even though I shouldn't have said that. Ready?
Yeah.
Over the last year, Kalila and I have been using BetterHelp. It's really saved us during the pandemic. And we suggest it to everybody we know in our family and our friends. We think it's very helpful. BetterHelp, number one, it's counselors available worldwide. Number two, it's affordable. Number three, I think it's the best online therapy in the business.
BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist.
Yeah.
So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. And honestly, some days I just really don't want to. It's so much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in just under 48 hours.
Close it out.
Unload the stressors and get some unbiased feedback. You'd be pretty surprised at what you might gain from it, and see if it's for you.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Tiger Belly listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/belly. That's BetterHelp.com/belly for 10% off your first month.
Zen business.
Bobby, you've heard of the Great Resignation, right?
Of course.
And how people are looking for ways to work that give them more control over their lives and are better for their emotional well-being.
Fantastic.
Building a business is a path to building the life you want, and you don't have to make that journey alone. Zen Business is your trusted guide, giving you essential skills and resources to help you start and grow your business while balancing your well-being.
Check it out. You don't need to be a business expert to start your own business. Zen Business empowers you to turn your awesome idea into a money-making company by helping you create, run, and grow your own business all from one platform.
What I like about Zen Business is how simple their pricing structure is to form your own business. You can browse blog articles on the Zen Business Academy page, share how much education Zen Business offers on creating and running a business.
I really wish we'd had this when we'd started our business because it would have like simplified everything. So check it out if you're thinking of it.
Starting a business doesn't mean you have to be an expert at everything. Zen Business makes the business stuff easier so you can stay focused on your passion. Fast filing to get your formation done as quickly and easily as possible, and a team of experts ready to help throughout the life of your company.
Zen Business has helped hundreds of thousands of people get their business off the ground by guiding them every step of the way and making it easier to launch a successful business. Get started today for as low as $49 at zenbusiness.com/belly. That's zenbusiness.com/belly.
I understand. No, I'm not lying. You're right. I did cry to you.
Yeah.
Because it was embarrassing. But I said deeps inside.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Even at a deeper level.
Yeah.
You were rejoicing.
There's different levels, and deep down inside, and it's still there. It still makes me laugh.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
I have so many of those. I have hundreds of those of awkward moments that in the middle of the night, I'm like, ah! You know, I have so many of those. I'm just, and for me, they're not even off of like, doing the joke you shouldn't do. They're just off of, not recognizing someone fast enough or calling someone by the wrong name or, and then them giving me shit. And I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I think you had one of those stories with Judd. I think you guys went to like a benefit thing together, and then you came
we
back
went
really
to
sad.
the Seinfeld.
Yes.
No, but that wasn't because
No, but you came back really.
because
Reveal it, baby.
Seinfeld's wife
Yeah.
kept calling me Billy.
No, Robbie.
Or Robbie, yeah.
Yeah.
It kept calling me Robbie, and I think at one point I said it's Bobby, but she kept calling me Robbie.
Yeah.
Right?
It's kind of the same.
It is kind of the
close
same,
enough.
but I'm also with you.
Yeah.
You mean? And
But you're
you're
embarrassed that you didn't know how to correct it.
Yeah, in that
Would you
social
correct
situation.
her? Could you correct her in that moment? Because I would be too awkward.
I would
wouldn't
never correct
her
anyone.
either. Me
I'd let
either.
them go. If they-
I know, but I don't think that's healthy. Is that healthy?
I don't know. If someone's just like, hey, Jebediah, what are you doing? I'm Jebediah the rest of the day.
Oh, really?
Like people
Yeah.
say, like, is it Apatow or Apatow? I'm like, either way's fancy.
That's how I am. I don't correct people about my name anymore. It's
Yeah.
not like it's whatever you need.
Well,
it
your
to
name is
be.
Kalila. It's hard.
It's hard, but that's
That's a
what I'm
hard one.
saying.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's just it's whatever you need it to be.
You know what my thing is? I wouldn't say your name out of fear that I would mispronounce it, and then as a result of that, I forget it. And I have that with tons of people where I'm afraid, if it's like, is it Kirsten or Kristen? And then I just panic, never say it, and then at some point I don't even know what it is.
Yeah. Well, I hate it when they're mad and you're close.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, Christina, it's Christine.
Yeah.
I go, I met you one time.
Well, Robbie is close to Bobby. You shouldn't have felt that bad.
I didn't lash out
You came home crying.
So much crying.
because I
Why is the reaction crying?
because I internalize it, right? Because for me, it's like, as a comedian, and also you audition a lot and you get a lot of rejection. So you teach your face to not show pain,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, even on stage, you know this, when the crowd just, no matter what you do, they're just not into it. And if you reacted viscerally to the response,
Yeah.
you would show it on your face and they would make it worse. So for me, is I've trained my face to just be like, I'm bombing. You know what I mean?
I'm Robbie.
I'm fine, and I'm Robbie. Yeah, I'm Robbie.
Robbie.
You know what I mean?
Robbie's having a blast.
Robbie's having a blast. But inside, it's inner turmoil. Like with Judge just said, like there are times where I'll lay in bed and I'll think of where I got booed off. I got booed off a stage in front of 20,000 people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? I got literally booed off.
What show is that?
They used to do this show called the Doghouse Comedy Night in San Jose. It was at the amphitheater. And this is back in the early 2000s. They had like Chappelle, Mencia, Pablo Francisco. I mean, the lineups were insane. Cat Williams and ba. And I had to follow Leslie Jones. I've told this story before. And when I walked up on stage, I just remember things being thrown at me.
Before you started.
I said a couple of words, and then all of a sudden, it became like the Matrix. I was like, I mean, like, what the fuck, right? And then you could just hear people going, bah.
Yeah, because Leslie, I'm sure, had a composed stance. She really brought the room into a place of listening.
Yeah, I mean, she
probably ripped
she jumped
it up.
out. She jumped off the stage and started dry humping like a younger skinny white kid in the audience, and obviously the camera's on her. It's up on the projectors or whatever,
Can't compare.
and the place is going wild. And backstage, I knew that I was going to go through something. And when I went through it, I still 3-4 in the morning will just be sleeping and just go.
But something triggered the idea of let's remove him from the stage.
Right.
Like
Well,
something
we can't analyze
happened.
that part. Yeah.
Because you could follow that and go like, what the hell was that? Jesus, and like kind of try to let's acknowledge what just happened.
Yeah.
And try to figure, but you clearly did something you don't remember that triggered like it, because the crowd has to feel like it would be fun right now to make him cry and run off the stage. Right? Like it's a group, it's a mob mentality.
I think I made the mistake of saying something like, you know what I mean? Well, Leslie had to do that to get a laugh.
Oh, you set your...
There-
Type of
yeah,
thing
you
where
did
it's like
something.
they loved her so much.
Yeah.
And I said one little negative thing.
Yeah.
And then the audience went, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Because they
ruin
had
your-
so much fun. And you shame them for
Yeah.
enjoying it, right? You shame them for having because
That's
that's
why.
always like that art of can I keep the energy going, right?
yes.
Like can I like there's so much energy in this room. Like I was at the Cellar once, and I was supposed to follow Ray Romano, and Ray Romano, he's amazing. Like he's just had
That's his room, too.
Like it's just pandemonium because he's just so solid. The act is so great, and I'm about to go on. They're like Dice is here.
Wow.
And you go on after Dice. I'm like, okay, I'll go on after Dice. So it's like the clean kind of perfection, and then Dice is like, what was he saying? You gotta bedazzle the pussy, and Dice is playing the room like it's Radio City Music Hall. Like,
Right.
He wasn't doing like a screw around Dice set. He was doing here's the best I have right now
Wow.
set.
Wow.
And then you're like, all right, what keeps this going?
Yeah. How'd you do?
I did well because what I did was, for some reason, Dice stayed in the room and just like stared at me watching my set.
Yeah.
And I know him a little bit, but he just like decided to, and he's so tall and everyone could just see him there.
Yeah.
And I just reviewed his set with him. And
while you were on stage?
Yeah, and discuss how it applied to my relationships
That's cool.
and how it wouldn't really generally fly in my home.
He's a nice guy.
The nicest guy.
Yeah, I think he's generally.
yeah.
We've had him on this podcast. We love him. Yeah, I'm so glad. How did you, because you took a break from stand up. Mm-hmm. So how long was that break?
Well, every once in a while I would go up at like Uncabaret or some of those types of shows, but really it was like from like 92 till 2014.
Yeah.
I mean, I really didn't do it for forever. And there was a moment where I realized I don't even know anyone is. Like in comedy, like I haven't even gone to clubs.
Yeah.
Other than going to see like Chris Rock do a concert or something, I really was paying no attention. And I think I loved it so much and was so into it that I burnt it out where I just didn't care at all about it. And it took me decades to get interested in it
Yeah.
again.
because you were just around all the time.
Every second of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, it was
And I
like-
was also the host at the Improv, so I would do the Improv from 8 to 1:30 in the morning for years.
Really?
And so I was really fully, immersed. But I've talked about this before, but I also got bummed that some of my friends were so amazing that they were legendarily funny that I think it mentally broke me in some way.
Oh, wow.
Because like if you're like your best buddies are like Sandler and Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
even when you're doing well, you're like, I don't think I'm as good as these guys. And I don't think I can get as good as these guys. Like, this is magic.
Yeah.
And I was like, what would I do? And I could write jokes for them. I understood why it was working. And I was in awe of them because it was exciting to watch them rise and crowds begin to go, oh my God, it's them. They're the next legendary people. But on some level, it really depressed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really like I need to stop because I don't want to be okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be okay. Now I'm okay being okay.
Yeah.
Now it's much different because I feel like I'm older. I can be like a host and I can just be like a friendly person in the world of comedy. I don't have to reinvent the form, and people know me and I could tell some stories about shit that happens. But back then I just thought, like, God damn it, it's not going to happen
Yeah.
the way it's happening for them.
But there's something, but you know this. There's something about stand up that's like, there's a feeling up there that you get nowhere else. I think it's also in a very addictive kind of a feeling. It's like it's one of those things where I never will stop doing it. I don't think.
Yeah.
Because it's just such an intricate part of just my life, and it gives me so much joy, even when I'm doing bad. Right?
Yeah.
There's something visceral and great about it. Judd, I just want to say I've wanted you on this podcast since I've done it. And I'm so glad you're here. We have a thing at the end what it's called unhelpful advice. Mm-hmm. And people email us problems.
Okay.
And you can answer it the best way you can.
I will.
But also, I just want to say this, and this is another side. This podcast went 50 times better than I could ever imagine it being. It was perfect. Okay? So go fuck you guys. I love it.
They were naysayers. They said
No,
it
they
wouldn't
weren't.
go
No,
well.
no, they were like, this is going to be amazing.
This guy was the naysayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was nervous.
He
I
was
feel like we didn't even
nervous.
cover that much.
You're going to come back again.
Of course.
Because let me tell you
I
something.
used to live right around the corner from here.
No, really? Don't you love this? I love this area.
Loved it.
Yeah. But I just want to say thank you. Do the unhelpful advice.
Before unhelpful, we actually have one fan question.
Oh, we have fan question.
One fan question. Yeah, we're gonna
Okay,
ask.
go ahead.
This is from Corey Hubble. This is for Judd, but everyone in the room can answer. You get to create or jump into all kinds of comedic projects, but if you could, without constraint, jump to an existing IP or totally spin up your own version of something, no network interference or studio interference, what would it be? Like Marvel, Star Wars, anything.
It'd be fun to do like another Hangover movie if you had the great idea. I feel like people want it so badly.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, the world's like, give us a good Hangover. I've been in the house
Yeah.
for 2 years. I want a Hangover. Like,
Yeah.
but that movie would be like a gift to the world.
I think so too. Yeah.
that would be a fun one.
Did you produce that one?
I had nothing to do with it.
Oh.
But they were all so funny, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But and Zach is the funniest. So
Oh yeah.
either that or what? What else?
They were
what
saying,
else
they
is
were saying
IP?
there's like Dune, there's Marvel, historical.
Logan. I want to do another Logan.
Logan too.
Yeah, Logan too.
Yeah. Good one. Next fucking thing, man.
And then someone asked, this is from Rare from Radio, just asked, would you ever direct a horror movie?
We've tried to come up with horror movies, and we couldn't crack it.
Yeah.
like me and Bill Hader for years we're working on like a Bill Hader horror movie.
Bill?
And he had an amazing idea, and it just we couldn't close and just have it really work.
Yeah. What
But maybe we'll go back at it again. But he had a great idea, and
was it? A comedy? A horror comedy?
like a Shaun of the Dead kind of
Yeah.
horror comedy. So one day it'd be fun to do that.
Because why do those movies not do well or something? That genre or
Horror comedies.
horror comedy?
People don't try that often, but they do well when they're good.
If the horror was played real,
Yeah.
right? If
It's
just-
hard though.
Is
It's hard
it?
to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
funny, other than like in Pineapple where you're that was funny. That was funny. image.
All right, unhelpful advice.
Unhelpful advice with Bobby, Kalila, and Judd Apatow.
Dear everyone in the room, it is a great honor to be speaking with you. May your advice be unhelpful. I feel as though my life is stagnant and dreary. My life is going nowhere. Even when I try to accomplish things that give me passion in life, music and art, I feel like it doesn't matter anymore. No one cares, no one respects my work, and I haven't achieved any success. How do you find the strength to keep persevering against all the odds? Sincerely, Rye Wolf.
You can't live in the results. You know, you can't go, I'm going to do this and this is going to get me A, B, and C. You have to do it for the love of doing the thing,
I
you know?
think he's saying something else.
What is he saying then?
He's saying that even
Don't
if he's
laugh.
doing something he's passionate about, he's not finding joy in anything, which sounds to me more like a chemical imbalance.
No, but I think the reason why he's not finding joy is because he thinks that these things are going to give him something else, right? But if he just immersed himself in the actual art of it and go, I created a great piece. And no?
No.
Okay.
Well,
I mean,
that was a little like broad. I don't know what's yeah.
Give us another one,
Yeah, give
man.
us another one.
But God bless you and take care.
Or Judd, did you have anything to say about this guy?
Tell him it'll be okay, Bobby, please.
Yeah, I know, this guy's like,
You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. You're gonna
he's
be good.
hit rock bottom.
All right.
hard.
You're gonna be like-
Give him something
I
real.
think we should try.
Give him something juicy.
Stop. I think you're right. I think we should fucking save this guy. All right. So don't say that it wasn't specific.
I'm gonna give him
Go
a
ahead.
Like flip it. Just try to do something nice for somebody else. Maybe you're too much in your head on like how I'm feeling and what I'm accomplishing, and just make your life for a moment or some moments. Like, what can I do to make someone else happy or something that help someone else heal? Like maybe just the self-involvement of that, you drown in it and you can't do anything. It's like the Buddhist idea of non-attachment. All pain comes from wanting something. Right?
Remember, you only lose what you cling to.
But also, it goes back to Alcoholics Anonymous, right? The reason why that program works is because it's a program of reaching out and getting out of yourself. So it's a lot about like reaching your hand out and saying hello to a newcomer who's scared, right? It's just the act of doing something like that. It just makes you just feel better about you and your place in the world is when you get out of yourself and you help somebody else. Is that
And
what you're
then
saying?
something creative might happen.
There we go.
Then something else might bubble back up because you're feeling better. There's a thing that that person could look up, which is called Tonglen meditation, Tonglen, which is where you breathe in the pain and suffering of other people and you take it from them, and then you breathe out like kind of clear, fresh, clean, filtered air. And it does something to your brain because you're always trying so hard to like have everything work out for you. And when you literally chemically flip it to thinking about other people, it somehow, I don't know, I think it boots up your brain in a different way. But but if you look it up, it's really interesting. It's like if you're just like, my life sucks. You're like, breathe in all of Bobby's pain. Send him love and joy.
Breathe
And
in
for
my
some reason, it
pain.
puts you in a good mood. I don't know why, but it works.
Which I don't know why. While you're talking, it brought me up another situation. You and I found. You know, also one night I saw you the night Trump won the presidency.
You guys celebrated?
No, I saw
that-
you at the store that night.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember seeing your face. Right. And I remember going, you shouldn't say hi to him right now.
Yeah.
It was such a glum feeling that first. Well, the 4 years were glum, but especially right when it happened, it was such a fucking traumatic.
Did you say hi?
Was he
I think I did say hi, but it was like more.
You just felt it all coming. Right? You felt it all coming. Like, this isn't going to be like a little funny, like if Alex Trebek became president.
Yeah.
Like, stuff is about to go down. Whatever it is,
I know.
It's going to be exhausting. Like, this is going to be really draining.
Yeah.
And
So that's a feeling. I remember seeing you going, and I just remember your face in my head. That was what I remember of that day.
you know what it is? I feel like when I look back on it now, just having such a visceral reaction to him as like, like an abusive parent of some kind, that you really felt his lack of compassion for people. And I think it just scared me, like, to just feel like he doesn't really care. And we saw that like during the pandemic where choices were made for people to get reelected and not to save lives. And that really was the metrics for a lot of the decision making, was holding on to power. And that's what I was scared of. Like, what if we had somebody that kind of wasn't looking out for us?
Yeah.
Was looking out for himself first, and it I'm sure it like tapped into whatever my trauma is in some way. And for a lot of people, like we want that person to be nurturing in some way.
Yeah. I think that's what it is, in terms of trauma.
But I think next time he's president, it'll be better.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's gonna do it again. You think he's gonna run again?
Of course.
Oh yeah, he has to run again.
Why wouldn't
he?
he?
He has to run again because
Sequel.
the reason why you have to run again is because if you don't, you just get sued and prosecuted for the rest of your life. But the second he says he's running, if they try to do anything to him, they're like, you're doing it for political reasons. So you have to run again just to get off the hook for everything else. And he's probably just bored. I always wonder why he doesn't get tired. How you know he's a sociopath is he's not aging.
Yes.
He just doesn't age. Like everyone, when they leave the presidency, their hair is gray and they look like someone beat the shit out of them. And he looks better now.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel what other people feel in some way.
Another red flag for me was that he didn't have a dog.
No, he doesn't like dogs.
I know, but
it's not like
no, you're laughing, dude. Any president that doesn't have a dog, it's just weird. It's like anybody that you can tell he doesn't like them.
Yeah.
You can tell that if he's in a room with a dog and you close the doors, that he wouldn't even look the dog's direction.
What if you found out like he was into hamsters?
Well, I mean, I think that would be a plus.
But he liked sharks, remember?
Oh, yeah,
he was in like Shark Week and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This is crazy. This is like every president, what pets they had. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Every president. There's even some that have parrots.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
First
that's
one without an animal.
I think that's a weird.
God.
Look at who was that?
Hoover.
Hoover.
Jesus.
Oh,
Well, he's
hoarder
an
like
animal
us.
hoarder.
Like us.
He had a possum.
Yeah.
He had
One
an
possum.
opossum.
Unhealthy.
And a cat.
Healthy guy.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about something else that sprung up, but I think
Just do it, Bobby. Just do it. Just say it.
So,
Look at
were you
Calvin.
raised by your dad mainly, or?
Well, my parents broke up when I was in middle school, and my mom moved out, and then I lived with my dad.
Yeah, I think that's what I read somewhere.
And so, yeah, it was kind of flipped.
But your mom she worked at a comedy club in the summer somewhere, and is that true?
Well, my parents owned a restaurant.
Yeah.
And this guy, Rick Messina, was the bartender. And then he started opening comedy clubs after he left.
Yeah.
Like East Side Comedy Club on Long Island. He then signed Tim Allen and Drew Carey, and he became this gigantic manager.
Yes.
But back then, he was like the bartender at our restaurant. And then after my parents got divorced, he was running this club called the East End Comedy Club in Southampton. And my mom, who went from like kind of a upper middle class family, suddenly was broke and got a job seating people at this comedy club in the summer. And I always used to think, what do they pay her? What do you get paid to seat people at a comedy club in 1983? Like $5 an hour?
Yeah.
And it took me decades to realize, like, oh, on some level, she must have only got it because she knew I was interested.
Oh.
You know, and she passed away, and I just thought, well, she must have just taken it because she knew I did. I went every show.
Wow.
That whole summer, and then I got a job as a dishwasher at a comedy club.
Wow.
That's how I learned about comedy.
That's how I was a bar back at the La Jolla Comedy Store in '95. I washed dishes back there.
Wow.
Yeah, I just remember every nook and cranny of that place. Wow. Because even though you're young and you're in a comedy club, it's dreamy. Wasn't it dreamy?
Oh yeah, I was a dishwasher, and then I was like, I can't see the show. I'm in the kitchen. Why am I in the kitchen? So then I became a busboy.
Oh yeah.
And then I could see the show. And like Rosie O'Donnell was coming in. She just started. Eddie Murphy was coming in. He was 21 years old at that time. So I'd have my dad drive me there. My dad would drive me like Chuckles and Governors, to all out. They were very supportive. And then I would use all the money I made as a dishwasher for the cab home. So I'd be done like 2:30 in the morning, like cleaning the kitchen, mopping the kitchen.
Wow.
And then it would cost me like $50 to get home. And
Did your parents see your success? Right? They did, right?
Yeah.
Good.
My mom did.
Good. Well, Judd, I'm sorry. Anytime you ever want to promote anything, you know what I mean. But this is a big deal for us. Thank you so much, Judd. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Judd Apatow, everybody. That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guess what, boys and girls? It's Black Friday.
Ooh.
And we have a surprise for you. These shirts are coming out, and these are exclusive to us. These are the cutest shirts I think we've ever made.
I think so too.
This one says, Fight Night.
Well, on top it says, "Let me just defend myself for a second." That's what you say a lot.
Yeah.
And this is me. That's Bobby.
Yeah.
And it says Licks versus Bobby, Slap King Lee.
Yeah, this is a great
Also,
shirt. Let me see your shirt.
This one is a premium shirt. It's a soft wash, and we dyed these ourselves.
Yep.
But you want to see the back?
I want to see the back.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me spin around for you. Look how
Papaya.
Oh, that's great, dude. Look at that. Amazing.
And
Amazing.
On the side is, look, it's me, you, babe,
Yeah.
and then flat. And on the side it says Tiger Bellies.
And the material is made out of pure angel wing.
100%.
And to get it, you have to die and come back.
And
You have
that's
to
what we
die,
did.
kill an angel, come back. It's a whole thing. So
we did.
a lot of moral.
Anyway.
It's broken.
We went through lengths to get this to you guys.
right. So congratulations to you for getting the opportunity
to purchase this
to
on Black
participate
Friday.
in buying this.